first, here with all the latest pet news, please welcome the Barking Blondes, Joe Good and Anna Webb. Hello, Matilda. You got here in the end, and after a late start, Matilda and Molly. So, Anna...
Pet news. Well, guess what, Alan? We've got our own Crocodile Dundee. It's a man, yes, called Chris Weller. He lives in Rochester in Kent. Alone, I must say, with a 6-foot croc.
Well, he wouldn't be alone if he's got a crocodile with him. Nobody's going to move in, are they?
And they love listening to Classic FM. There you are.
On a Saturday morning?
I think so.
Especially, he said, hopefully.
And they enjoy playing cards. And I think we all know what game they like the best.
All together?
Our second story is a wonderful story about a miniature American horse called Mr. P. And Mr. P is part of a therapy programme. He goes into homes for the elderly, also hospices for children, and they can pat him and pet him, and he makes them feel better. It'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? If you're away from home in a hospital bed and a little miniature horse comes in.
Yes, you'd think you're hallucinating, wouldn't you? But you're not. Please welcome owner Katie Smith and the American miniature horse, Mr. P.
Oh. Katie, hello. Hello, thank you.
Mr. P, how lovely to see. Now, tell us what Mr. P is, apart from being a miniature horse, obviously. What sort of breed?
He's an American miniature horse.
And that's what they're called?
Yes,
yeah.
and his parents were born in America, and he's a British-American breed.
Goodness me.
Horse.
Is this his full height?
This is his full height. He won't grow any bigger, but he'll grow wider.
Well, yeah. Well, the story of all our lives, really, Mr. P. So, how old is he now?
He's just over 4.
Yeah. And and always got a bit... Whenever animals come on this programme, have you noticed? They're always calm as anything. I shall sit down, because that might make me feel a bit easier then, mightn't it? And then when they come on, I haven't got a polo made. I should have had, really, shouldn't I? So you take him around absolutely everywhere?
Yes.
And people's reaction to him, they're not a bit scared?
No, he just brings a bit of joy and a bit of light to people's lives.
Yeah, and you take him all over the country, just saying, sort of, hospital wards, hospices, things like that.
Yes, and challenging behaviours, anywhere where I can bring the outdoors indoors for people.
And you don't need a socking great horse box for this one, then, presumably,
No, no, you can have a little 3.5-ton or little transit van.
So you go everywhere with him, and that's what you do, Mr. P.
And we go showing as well.
Bless you. It's lovely to see you. Isn't that smashing? My thanks to Katie Smith and Mr. P, the miniature horse. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. P. All right. Goodness me. Now, not the pet for everybody, not a crocodile, certainly not, and a miniature horse like Mr. P, not a good choice for everybody. It's choosing the right pet is quite critical, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, amazingly, Alan, 15% of all people spend more time choosing their Christmas presents and their family holidays than they do their family pet. I know, and what's more, another 40% underestimate the expense of a pet and get a bit daunted when the vet bills start to come in. And one important tip is this. Remember, the bigger the dog, the bigger the doo-doo.
So you learn lots of important facts like that on this programme. You know, it's practical, really, isn't it? Also, but not necessarily the more exercise. Often, small dogs need more than... I know greyhounds, actually, surprisingly, don't need a lot.
Absolutely right.
Do your homework is the answer, isn't it?
Exactly. Lots of research.
Right. Well, joining us today are some animals in desperate need of a loving home. First pet looking to be rehoused is Jess the dog, and she's here, whether he likes it or not, with Tom Ellis. You got a friend. I've got a friend. You got a friend. Tell us then about Jess.
Well, Jessie's one of the dogs that's hoping to be rehomed by the Blue Cross, and she would make a fantastic family pet. She's half poodle and we think also half fox terrier. But if you are going to take a dog like this on as a family pet, remember, the whole family needs to be singing from the same song sheet, so you all train the dog together. You know, and the usual things we were talking about last week: sit, come, bed. Doorbell rings. You know, Jessie, you go to bed. You go to your bed and you behave. But she's a perfect family dog.
Oh, my goodness me, the phone lines must be red hot. I mean, I don't want to let her go. She'd love it. Aren't you lovely, eh?
She
Beauty.
is gorgeous.
Well, here with the second pet looking to be rehoused, Bella the cat is RSPCA's Bev Levy. Bev. Now, tell us about
Bella is a 9-year-old, 3-legged cat. So poor old Bella obviously got hit by a car or something in the past, and she'd make a perfect pet for somebody perhaps a bit elderly, as she won't be roaming around too far. So you can spend lots of time together, training the cat, playing with her, training her to eat on the table, so you might not have to bend down. And the important thing to remember with Bella, though, is to keep her slim, so not to put extra weight onto her other remaining
But
legs.
people often worry about vets' bills.
Well, yes, and that's the good thing with Bella. Because of her age, the RSPCA contribute to her vet's bills. Wonderful. So for a pensioner, that will really help.
Bless. Oh, we'll try and find you a home, three-legged
Oh, is she
Bella.
pretty?
And finally, we have, what a lovely name for a dog, Arthur. Arthur's looking for a new home and he's been brought on by Beverly Knight. Beverly. Oh, Beverly. You look so good together. Thank you. Hello, Arthur.
Arthur is fantastic. Oh, Beverly, you're so lucky. We've all fallen in love with Arthur this afternoon.
Oh, he's a top dog.
What do you think of it so far, Arthur? Rubbish.
We were saying Arthur would be the perfect companion for somebody who's single, maybe recently bereaved, or if you want to, you know, go through life as a single person, you want the perfect companion. But he is a Jack Russell, so loads and loads of exercise. You don't want to take him on if you lead quite a sedentary life.
What is it about dogs always like pointing their bum at the camera? Show me your face. Your face is your selling point, not the other end.
He's so gorgeous, but he needs loads of walks. So really, if you're going to take him to work, and he'd probably be perfect to sit under the desk, but you need to walk him there, walk him in the lunch hour, walk him home. But he was a stray, and again, he's through the Blue Cross, and he's absolutely gorgeous. He loves you, Alan.
He's been so... I know, it's worrying, though. My cat, Spud, you know, that's the worry. Spud's in his teens now. He's about 15, so I don't think we're ready for you yet, Arthur, but, ooh... No, I won't talk in front of the cat. It's upsetting, isn't it? Three lovely animals and 2 dogs who clearly get on well together and get on well with other dogs. That's great. My thanks to all my guests. If you're interested in finding out more about pets looking for a good home, go to our webpage, itv.com/Alan, and we'll catch up with Joe and Anna later with a baby meerkat talking about animals having babies. If you've any questions for them, drop them a line at alan@itv.com. But first, to the messy business of pregnant pets at home. Please welcome back Joe Good and Anna Webb. I know we've had one email from Helen Reynolds who says, I have a small 18-month-old Yorkshire Terrier who's totally blind. What games, apart from tugging, can I play with her? She can't play fetch because of her blindness. Any advice? Greatly appreciated.
Yes, you've got to activate the sense of smell. Dogs have a huge olfactory capacity. Think of this, we've got 5 million scent receptors in our nose, and dogs have 220 million. So like we were doing last week, hide a little treat under a plant pot, and then just encourage her to go over. She'll smell the treat, because her sense of smell will be more acute because of her blindness, you know? That's what I say.
That's the answer, Helen. Smell.
Smell.
Now, we've heard about issues that face domestic pet owners, so just imagine the further complications that zookeepers have to deal with. This on animal maternity, baby meerkat Leela is hand-reared after being abandoned by her mother.
Meerkats are prolific breeders. Normally raised in a group of 20 or more, they're highly social mammals. But if the group becomes too large, the weakest can be rejected. To try and save baby Lila's life,
Can you wait a minute?
Chessington zookeeper Gemma Anscombe is hand-rearing her.
Compared to meerkats we've had hand-reared before, she's very attention-seeking, always wants cuddles, lots of cuddles.
Please welcome Leela the meerkat and zookeeper Gemma Anscombe. Hello, Leela. So how old's Leela?
Leela's now 5 months old.
5 months now. She doesn't nip, does she? So
No, she's very friendly.
bless her. Look at that. So what happened to her? Why was she orphaned?
She was rejected from her family.
Just
She
because
was born on her own, which is very unusual for meerkats. They normally have about 3 or 4 in a litter. And so we took her out at about 10 days old to give her the best start in life. She wouldn't be here today if we didn't intervene.
Oh, this is Leela making this noise, not me heavy breathing. So can she be reintroduced? Will she sort of go back to her family?
Sadly not. She's now out of that group for good. We have got another family for her she lives with now.
Oh, bless her heart. Now, you don't have meerkats done. They're not good pets, are they, for our house? So we need to make this really clear. But, you know, when people do have pets at home that get pregnant, I mean, they've got extra problems there then, haven't they?
Absolutely. Well, it's like humans, you know, the best laid plans. You think you're all ready for a litter, and you're not always in the full of when they're going to be born. I mean, sometimes they go for a full period of 9 weeks, or in case of a dog. But the best thing to do is build up on the nutrition, because we're always saying watch what they eat, but at that one time is the time you can actually feed them with calories, can't you, Anna?
Yes. Particularly at the end of their gestation period, you want to be giving them 1.5 times the amount of food they'd normally eat, so they can make the milk and get ready to obviously suckle their young. And the other thing is really not to think of it as an illness, because it's a very natural process. So keep up the exercise you'd normally do, and treat them normally. They might show a few odd behaviours, just like we do.
And always inform your vet, you know, so they're in the know in case there's an emergency.
Keep inspecting and make sure things go on. Do you ever get problems with dogs, for instance, and cats, in the same way that Gemma's had here with Leela the meerkat? Do they ever get rejected, members of a litter?
Yes, they can do, and some larger breeds will have big litters.
Yeah.
And say a Labrador, they'll have 10 teats.
Yeah.
So if they have 14 puppies, for example, there won't be enough room for them all to suckle, and some might get a bit pushed out, the less confident ones. So it's important to monitor that, make sure they're all getting their right amount of food.
Move over, I want my
move
bit.
over.
Well, here's the moment where Leela meets her big sister for the first time.
Adia may not take to her tiny new attention-seeking sister, and a fight could be on the cards.
I'm going to let little Adia out and let them sniff each other and have a look, and that way, if anything was to happen, I can obviously shield her off.
Mealworms are like chocolate to meerkats, but Adia's tolerating Leela hogging them all.
If she was going to be a problem, she would have been kicking little one off. So she's just not fussed. There you go, you got your big sister to play with. You got your big sister to play with.
My big sister's looking after me. So the future for Leela?
She is now part of the presentations team at Chesington World Adventures, so she's now an ambassador for her species. And
You see, you're not just a meerkat, you're a meerkat ambassador. Wonderful. Bless you, it's been lovely to meet you, Leela. There you are. Try not to eat it. If your pet's pregnant or about to give birth, do contact your local vet. We'll be able to give you advice and monitor progress. And don't forget, if you want to share your pet news with us, email at alan@itv.com. My thanks to Gemma Anscombe and Meerkat Leela, of course, as well as Joe Good and Anna Webb. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.